Musician, producer behind different projects, Ferry Tayle, my solo project, Cape Town as a co-producer with Airwave, and I make different stuff. I'm a musician since 23 years now, playing saxophone. Mainly it was jazz music is my first musical inspiration and my first step in music, and after that I switched to electronic music. I remember it when my father came at home with Jean-Michel Jarre's album, and I listened to this album, and I say it's definitely what I want to do, because it's a new step, a step after normal music. I mean, it's electronic music. You don't have a defined instrument. You need to create your own instrument. So that's the things that really pleased me, and I wanted to try. And the feelings with electronic music is totally different, like normal music. I think I have a normal music. I have feelings with normal music, but with electronic music you can develop more feelings and more emotion, I think. It's a long story. It started when I started to play in front, small club, and a lot of people and DJs, resident DJs in a club, said me that my way to play music, not especially trance music, but to play music, it's like telling a fairy tale. And after that, I'm thinking to find a name for a DJ name, but not a DJ something. I wanted to put just a name, because I'm not only a DJ, I'm a producer too. And I am a big fan of Ferry Tayle, and I wanted to split this name Ferry Tayle in a real name like Ferry and Tayle. And without thinking, one day I will reach this level and progress in the same scene like Ferry Tayle. So today it's a little bit strange for me, and I already asked Ferry Tayle if it's a problem for him to have Ferry Tayle like an artist name, because I received a lot of email if I'm a sub-project of Ferry Tayle, and I think he receives the same kind of email. This is a strange story, but a very fun story. I think it was on a French Trance addict forum. I was a big fan of him, and I started to answer some posts he put on different threads on the forum. And one day I was very angry about him, because he wrote lots of bad things, because he was not on a good mood this day, and a lot of bad things about the music, about different producers and everything. And when you are a young producer and you see a big producer complain about his life, because for us at this time, for a young producer, it's a dream to have our life now. And I started to answer him and say, I'm not agree with you, it's stupid, you can't complain about your life. And we started on a public forum to speak about that. And he said, I prefer to speak about, you are right on some points, and I prefer to speak about this on private things. So we started to write in private, and he said, I think it's the best way to clear these things now. It's you come at home, because it was 5 years or 6 years ago now, and I lived just 1 hour from his place, and he decided to invite me at his place, and we had a chat. And after that, I'm started to become more friend with him. I answer him if I can remix Cape Town at this time, because I was a huge fan of Cape Town, the first Cape Town track. Because the first Cape Town track is not me, it's Pit Stop Cinema, it's not for me, Skydriver is not for me. And I wanted to remix Cinema because I'm a big fan of this track. And after that, step by step, we're starting to be very, very good friends, and now you can see the result. We make Cape Town together. I think for me it's really what I can call pure trance. I mean, it's not really uplifting, it's not really progressive, it's a kind of sound between uplifting and progressive sound, because it's always low tempo. I mean, compared to an uplifting track, I think the the fastest track we made was Copilot on the album. It's 140 BPM, but generally it's around 134 BPM, so 144 BPM, and yeah, it's really a real trance and emotion sound. Well, in Flybook I try to I don't want to make a show with I don't know, Flybook 1, Flybook 2, Flybook 3. With one of my best friend, we try to search from a new concept of the show to for people to remember the show, and as made a lot of tracks and theme around aviation. I mean, my first album is around aviation, Cape Town's album is around aviation. He said to me, why not putting a city name on your show and call it Flybook? And I thought it was a really, really great idea, because now everybody say, yeah, how do you think about, I don't know, Flybook Sofia edition, Vancouver edition, you know, it's not, oh, did you listen on Flybook? I don't remember if it was 14 or 15. I think it's easier to remember the show. And I try to, I search some picture of the city and try to make a mix in the theme of the city, you know. And it's a combination with, you can expect for sure some new track, some exclusive track, but it's not only new track. I play different track from a lot of year now, and you have some new track, my new material, but you can listen some classic on some tracks from 3 or 4 years ago. It depends. It's all about the feelings. I don't want to make a show only with new tracks, because every DJ now on different radio show wanted to play absolutely the latest track. It does no sense if you play the track that everybody will play. Sure, I have maybe on 2 hours I have maybe 5 or 6 tracks in my that everybody's playing, but after that I'm trying to find the track that people, I'm sure, will not play, or something like that. Exactly the same like when I'm playing live. I will launch next year after my album. I think it will be maybe middle of 2011. It will depend on the release of my album. We launch a new compilation series, my own compilation series called Flybook, because with the success I have with the radio show, I think it's a good idea now to launch a kind of, yeah, compilation, but not especially with tracks I played on Flybook. And it will be a new and great experience, I think.
We're gonna get you high, straight into the sky with this incredible sound of music. Right now, we're down with the sound of my DJ Ferry Tayle. Get crazy, come
that was an experience, a big experience. Well, it was a dream to play there. So when you see all the organization around that, and to be on the other side of the bar is different. It's really different, and it was great because it's a great organization, and you have a lot of interview. You're meeting a lot of people, and everybody is very friendly. It's very surprising for a big event like this, that everything is planned, everything is scheduled, and it's very interesting. And the crowd was amazing. I didn't expect so much energy because I think this year Trance Energy has the best lineup ever, I think. So for people who came, it was very difficult, I think, to choose which floor you want to see, because every floor was amazing, every lineup. Even for me, as a DJ, I wanted to see some DJs, and I couldn't see every DJ I wanted because too much great stage. It's mainly when I have something to tell, because when I want to write a song, it's mainly because I want to write a story. There's a story behind every of my track, and it depends. I can see a movie, and just by looking the picture and give me idea, like rewriting a score track for this movie. Else it depends when I'm gigging. Like this morning, I had a lot of idea to have played in Sweden yesterday, and it's when I have something to tell, I'm trying to put this on my emotion and feeling on the track. I think it should be around March, April, but it's not true yet because I still have a lot of work on it, and I have great luck to have Inans who support me on this project, and I'm very happy with Holland for the job he made, and I'm happy that I can make an album again, because my goal it's not to make only single, it's really to make some album. And when I signed on Inans recording, it was my first wish to say I'm agreed to make some singles in different projects, but I want absolutely make a second album now. And I think with the success I had with L'Acrobat and Trophies, and now maybe the Prestige, I think it will be a great idea to make an album. But it's not only a trance album. I think a lot of people was scared when I announced on Facebook that my album will be not only trance, but as I always said, I'm a musician and I'm an artist and can make a lot of different music. So I want to make different kind of music, not only trance, but surely it will be mainly trance music. But I want to make. You will see it's a lot of different tracks, and you had the possibility to listen some of different tracks I make with an array, a real piano track, and I made a new track, UNC, that it was on SoundCloud. That is a real Chicane old spirits, because Chicane inspired me a lot when I produce trance music. And I will try to make different music, and I will add some vocals that I didn't make before in the previous album. And I'm working now with an array that is a really good singer from UK, and I had the chance to meet a nice new singer in Sweden yesterday. So I think I will have some different vocals, but not like people say some cheesy vocals. I want to have a really deep vocals. I think the lyrics is really important when I working on the lyrics, or when I'm working on the track. That's why I really fall in love with the Hannah's vocals, voice and lyrics, because it's very deeper and very well written. I think it was my first single, Vol de Nuit, that will stay in my heart forever, because it was my first single, and to see everybody say now, in 4 years after the release, that it's a real classic track. It's, for me, I can't believe that it's a real classic track. The track is just 4 years old, so he's just 4 years old. So I can't believe that people think that it's already a classic, but I definitely love this track, and I'm still working on it 4 years later, because I'm not satisfied on the version I released in 2006. Not really satisfied on the version I put on my album, because I tried to rework it, and I'm still working on it now, because I have an idea in my head about how I would like this song sound, and I don't reach it, so I will still working on it to have the perfect version for me. And my second favorite track I made, it was my new mix of Metaphoric, because it's one of my track where I have the most feelings on it, and I made it in 4 hours. I think it's one of the best work I made in such a short time. And recently it's mainly more trapeze or UNC. Actually, UNC is different from what I usually do, but I think the emotion I try to put on this track, and it was written for a special event, and not a real, and not especially a good event, but I wanted to make something special to dedicate. It's such a track I dedicate to someone, because it's very important, and actually it's my best work so far. Traveling, definitely traveling, meeting a lot of new and great people. It's what I said on Twitter just before coming, that I had a really great time playing in Sweden yesterday, a really great time. Meet some new friends. That this is very interesting, and people are so friendly when you're going to play in a different country, and I think this is the most important thing for being a DJ, is that you meet a lot of great people every time going to play somewhere, and it's, yeah, I think it's amazing, because I still can't realize that that some country requests me for playing, and it's amazing. Well, I think I have two visions of internet. I think, on a sense, it's very bad, because it rules the sales of the track, and some people, I think, forget that we don't sell track for making absolutely business. It's because for a lot of producers it's their own job, so we had to we had to fill our fridge every month. So we need to sell some tracks, and this is yeah, in this case peer-to-peer is the worst thing, because I don't think today on different digital shop the price for a track is not so expensive, and I know that people will say yes it is, but I think if you think honestly about the price of the track, is not really so expensive to pay €1 or €1 and 29 cents. It's not so expensive for a track. But my other view on this is, I think when people download illegally our track, sometimes it's the best way to discover a new artist. I think when you don't know really an artist, and a friend of you give you an MP3 of this artist, or you download randomly and some different MP3 in a compilation, or I don't know, and you say, yeah, this is a great artist, I like it. You're starting to listen to what he's going to do. Actually, you're starting to listen maybe his radio show, and finally, if you like it, if you like the artist, you're going to see him when he's performing in your country. And actually, a real performance can't be illegal, and you can't download performance. You got to see him. So on these points, it's really good. It's good and bad for promotion. There are two sides. Actually, it's hard to choose. If you had asked me this question 10 years ago, I said Airwave Chicken. I think it will stay Airwave actually, but to have seen Jean-Michel Jarre in concert again, to had the chance to listen to some new track of his album he played live, I think it's this guy definitely. I don't think trance is dying, because every year people say that trance is dying. It's true, there is a kind of crisis actually in trance, because people are starting to open their eyes on different things. A lot of DJs always try to advise people that the trance is starting to be worse and worse, because there are a lot of producers, there are a lot of labels, and mainly digital labels. And today you can sign every tracks you made on different labels. I mean, if you send a track to a label and the label say no, you just have to send your track to another label and make this till one label will sign it, and you will find a label who will sign it. So I will be a bit rude now with what I will say, but there are too much shit track that doesn't deserve to be signed. And I mean shit tracks, I mean, I'm hard on these words, it's because I mean by shit tracks because it's tracks that need more work on it. I remember, and I'm not so old in the business, but I just came in 2006 when I started to send some tracks to different labels. There was still some part of vinyl, and at this time label told me it's a decent track, but you need to work more on it to make a really great track. And now labels just think about selling. Even if they're saying just one or two track, it's for a certain label it's amazing to sell one or two track. I don't understand why, but and I think with all this, if you see people now are very bored with trance, uplifting trance, because every track sounds the same. Every track, and a lot of tracks are very common, very yeah, it's very common, and I don't say that I don't make this kind of track too, because people say exactly the same about my work. But I think if new producer works more on track, it will be better, because yeah, today we release too much average track and too much shit track. Finishing my album first, I think will be my first goal. After that, I promised to my partner in crime, Stefan, that he's working with me now since 10 years, that we will be back on our roots and making a project together, because he helped me a lot in my work. I think he's working on different tracks with me. He's a big help when I'm very short in my planning and my schedule. He helped me a lot. He takes some part of my work, And I promised him that in 2011 we'll work on our own new project together, and I will focus on that, and I hope to make an album too with him, I think for 2012. And I hope to make a good album tour after that. And I will try step by step to move to real life act, real life performance, because as I said again, I'm a musician, and I really like to play live. I think I played in 2008 at Tomorrowland Live with Cape Town. That was a huge experience and really amazing experience. And I played in 2005 when we were not known with Stefan live, and it's really great experience. And I hope that the first album release party will be fully live. This is a wish I told to Enhance Recording, to my booking agency, that I want the first release party of my new album will be fully live, everything. So this is, I think it's already a massive job and busy job for next year.